All right, thank you guys all for joining us tonight. My name is Ted Doom. I am one of the program coordinators at the Cedar Hills Recreation Center. Tonight we will be talking about all of our preschool programs being offered in the district. And we'll go over which centers have programs running and what programs are running at each of the centers. Real quick, I have a couple other people helping me with the presentation tonight, and we'll go ahead and go through and let them introduce themselves.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kennedy Grant. I am the program assistant here at Cedar Hills Rec Center. I've also been one of the preschool teachers in the past.
Hi, and I'm Tyler Franson. I'm a program coordinator at Conestoga Recreation and Aquatic Center. I am in charge of our Fano Farmhouse and the bilingual preschools there.
My name is Chantel. I'm the Temporary Environmental Education Program Assistant at the Nature Center, and I'm currently coordinating the preschool programs while our program coordinator is out. I also do speak Spanish, so if anybody does need clarification or wants to ask a question in Spanish, I will be available to assist with that as well.
And as we go through our presentation tonight, we're going to kind of review our parent handbook, go over our different preschool programs. If you have questions along the way, feel free, you can type it into the chat. We do have some help answering questions that do come up in the chat. We will also have a question and answer section at the very end. And you can always hang on to those questions and we will get to them and get all of them answered for you before everybody gets out of here for tonight. We do have the link that's on the slide now goes to the Tualatin Hills main preschool page. It does list all of the different programs and activities that we offer at Tualatin Hills. Feel free to go to that. We will also get that into the chat throughout the evening as we get through our presentation today. Starting out, we're going to talk just a little bit about our preschool programs. All of them are a little bit different. Cedar Hills Recreation Center has the Kids First and Jumpstart program, which really follows kind of that Reggio Emilia style of learning, where it's letting the kids kind of, really explore and come to conclusions. The Fano Farmhouse follows that same style programming as well as the bilingual Spanish, which is offered at the Conestoga Recreation Center. The Nature Kids preschool program is really student-based and follows a lot. It's not as close to that Reggio Emilia style of learning, but still really does focus on that child and having that child-focused learning.
Yeah, so our staff, they are very passionate about our children and watching them grow. They come with a wide range of experience in early childhood education. All of our classes will meet that 1-to-10 ratio, and each class will always have a lead teacher and a co-teacher. The lead teacher's responsibilities are basically to create the curriculum, follow the themes of the month, and implement that curriculum. And as well as the co-teachers, they're there for their support and allowing those children to have that support throughout the entire day and helping that lead teacher implement the plan. So that's our teachers. The program coordinator, they are basically in charge of all the admins, administrative duties of the classroom. So the lead teachers and co-teachers all report to that program coordinator.
So the next slide is registration. Our registration rolls out in phases. So tomorrow we begin registration for current families and siblings. This registration is only going to be available by calling the center or coming into the center where the program is running. So for programs at Cedar Hills, that would be Jumpstart or Kids First. You'll be calling Cedar Hills directly or coming into the center. Play School Junior at Conestoga, and the Nature Kids programs that take place both at the Nature Center and at Jenkins Estate will be registered through the Nature Center. And then on Saturday, the 25th at 8 a.m., we begin open registration. So this will be for families that live in district. Everybody will be able to register starting this day, and you'll be registering along with our other spring classes that we offer here at the district. This can be done online, by phone, or in person. And so basically how registration is going to work is that you're going to pay a $50 non-refundable enrollment fee for the program that you're interested in. And once we receive that fee, you will be considered enrolled in the program for the upcoming year. And the tuition won't be due until later in the year in mid-August. Change the slide. So this page will show you, it's a little bit overwhelming at first, but this page will show you the different classes that we're registering for. At Cedar Hills, you can see there's Jumpstart and Kids First. It shows you the ages, the days of the week. The first one, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then underneath that last number is a registration code. So that's what you're going to use to register for the class. So if you're calling in tomorrow or you're coming in person, you can bring that number with you. If you're doing this on the 25th, you'll be able to go in using this number and do a class search, and then it will pull up the class that you're looking for. If you are new to the district and you haven't done anything with us before, you will need to register for an account with THPRD, and that's something, if you have questions about that or questions about whether you live in district or out of district, you can call any of us at one of these centers, or you can call the administration office and we can get you set up with an account.
All right, and like Chantel was mentioning, there is a $50 non-refundable deposit that is due upon enrollment to hold your child's place in the program. If you do decide to withdraw early, you will forfeit the full deposit, and that deposit is not applied to any other tuition payments or any other THPRD programs. In terms of tuition, it's due on the 15th of each month, 1 month in advance. So for September, the first payment will be due August 15th. You can make your payment online within your account or in person at any THPRD facility. The prices that we have listed are for in-district residents. If you are out of district, there is a quarterly assessment fee that will need to be paid for each quarter in order to pay the in-district rate for the program. That assessment fee will also allow all your household members to receive the in-district rates on all of our other THPRD classes and drop-in activities, fitness passes, and any other programs for that quarter. When you want to make your tuition payment, if you want to pay it online, you can give your center a call and we can push it to your online account into your shopping cart. We cannot take credit card payments over the phone. So you will either want to make that call to get it pushed to your web account, or you can just come in person if that's the way that you prefer to pay. And we do have a couple of other fees associated. We do have a late tuition payment fee. If your monthly payment is made after the due date each month, that will be added once again to your online account. And we also have a late pickup fee as well. So we do recommend that you are on time and present when it is time for your particular program to end.
And I say, just to add, I know there was some questions about in-district and out-of-district. As we do registration starting for the current families and previous families, we do in-district and out-of-district at the same time. Once open enrollment starts on Saturday, it will follow the Tualatin Hills registration guidelines. So in-district families will be able to register on the 25th. And then starting on that following Monday, out-of-district families will be able to register.
All right, and then for our class schedules, they do vary from center to center. So this is going to be specific to Cedar Hills Recreation Center on Southwest Parkway. We have two different programs here. We call them Jumpstart and Kids First. We have a Jumpstart for every day of the week in the mornings, but we separate them into two different sessions. So we have our Monday, Wednesday, Friday section, which is for ages 4 to 5, and it's from 8:30 to 11:30. And the prices are all listed to the side of each of these. We also have our Kids First program on Monday, Wednesday, Friday in the afternoons from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. And then for those two programs, the ages 4 to 5, those are a pre-kindergarten or kindergarten readiness style class. And then for the younger age groups, for ages 3.5 to 4.5, we have a Jumpstart program on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 to 11:30. It's a little bit shorter, and it's the price is a little bit less than that 3-day-a-week program. And then lastly, we have another Kids First 3.5 to 4.5, also on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 1 p.m. to 3:30 p.m.
So the Fano Farmhouse is run out of Conestoga. The Fano Farmhouse is located about 1.5 miles away from Conestoga. It's a cute little historic farmhouse that used to be an old onion farm. We definitely try to keep to the theme of that farm, as you can see in our class names. Every name of our classes for the Fano Farmhouse is after an onion. So our Fano Farmers Pearls program is 2.5 to 3.5 years old. This is the only class that we have that you do not have to be potty trained for. They do work on it in class, but it's not mandatory. That's Tuesdays and Thursdays running from 9 to 11:30. The next class we have is a Fano Farmers Vidalias class that's ages 4 to 5. And that's the afternoon on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 1 to 4. We have the Shallots class that's 4 to 5, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 1 to 4 as well. And then we also have the Alliums class ages 3 to 4, and that's Monday, Wednesday, Fridays from 9 a.m. to 12.
And real quick, just to go back, I know there was a question about the Cedar Hills classes. The Jumpstart is our morning program, and then the Kids First is the afternoon. They were both mirror kind of the same curriculum and style of teaching and everything. One's morning, one's afternoon. And then just as we're going through ages for all of the classes, we do ask that everybody is the appropriate age by September 1st. And so if someone is not 3.5 years old by September 1st, then we do ask that they wait until the following year to be able to enroll. Same thing for the 4 to 5-year-old group. We want them to be 4 years old by September 1st in order to register for the program.
Thanks, Ted. We also have Conestoga also has the bilingual Spanish class. This one runs Monday through Friday. The Monday, Wednesday, Friday class is of 4 to 5-year-olds. And then our Tuesday, Thursday class is 3 to 4-year-olds. All classes will be running from 9 to noon. This class, you do not have to be Spanish speaking by any means. It's just a class that's kind of immersed in the culture. Everything is taught in Spanish and English. So if you guys are reading a book, it's going to be in Spanish and then translated to English or vice versa, or they're learning their words and numbers, the days of the week, all those kind of things in both Spanish and English. They definitely do a lot of cultural projects and things like that as well. So it's a fun little atmosphere there.
So at the Nature Center, we manage the preschool classes at both the Tualatin Hills Nature Center and over at Jenkins Estate. On Tuesdays and Thursdays is when we have our classes for younger students. So at Jenkins, that would be hummingbirds, and at the Nature Center, that's chipmunks. And then on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, we have ladybugs, owls, and dragonflies. These are our older students. And owls is the only class that we offer in the afternoons. So if you're interested in a program in the afternoon, this class is from 1 to 4. I want to mention as well that if you're interested in one of the Nature Center programs and you've never seen the site before, next week we will be offering 15-minute tour slots on Tuesday at the Nature Center and on Thursday at Jenkins Estate. So you can give us a call over at the Nature Center and we'll get you signed up for one of those slots, and we'll have a couple of our teachers available and they can show you around the classroom and answer any questions that you might have before registration opens up to the public on Saturday.
All right, each of our preschool programs kind of follow the same holiday schedule. It is not the same as the Beaverton School District. We do have our own calendar of events. We have some major holidays where we do, not hold class. Otherwise, most of the days throughout the year, we do have classes that are running. We have one day in October where we do have a staff development day. And then we do have, come April, we'll have our spring conferences where you'll get to meet with the teachers and kind of go over kind of the year of curriculum, what they have been working on and what they've focused, and kind of where they are as far as their readiness for kindergarten. But this will get out and it's published with all of our information for the classes and in our preschool handbooks as well.
So our check-in and check-out process will always be at the classroom, done by the lead teacher. This is a great time where you can meet with the teacher and just kind of explain like new things that are happening with your child, or if there's any information that they should know. And then also the teacher is able to provide you with any updates that are coming up that you need to know about, or provide you a bag of dirty clothes if they were outside and got muddy and they needed an extra change of clothes. So it's a good time that you can kind of touch base quickly with the teacher every day. We do require that there's a photo ID at pickup, just making sure that we authorized, handing the kid off to someone that is on the authorized pickup list. So please keep that authorized pickup list up to date on your account. And then we also ask that you just be on time as best you can. A lot of these programs do flip rooms, and we have to our staff has to clean and set up the classroom for the next class. So please be on time as best you can. I really appreciate that. Each program is obviously going to be a little bit different for daily schedules, depending on lead teachers and what the theme is for that for the month. But just a general schedule here. It can be different each day, but this is what each kid should experience in a day in our preschool program. So starting off with a structured free play, allowing kids to get comfortable in the space. And then they should move into doing something like a circle time where they work on their calendars, letter of the month. They could do stories. They could also be sharing, tasks for the day, those kind of things going on at that time. There'll also be snack time and story time. The individual learning centers are going to be based on the theme of the month. So it could be like a full science theme. We just finished doing a big solar system project at Fano Farmhouse. So this is the time where they really focus on those bigger projects. It could be, anything from like gardening to art to, any like hands-on experiments. So that's a fun time. And then we also have, there'll always be some gross motor skills. There's going to be some rec time, whether that's hiking on the nature trails or taking a walk through the park, or playing on the playground. If it's really, really nasty outside, they could be playing in our gym, and just hopefully they're tired enough for you guys to pick up.
So things to bring, not to bring. Most of our preschools will have all the supplies that the kids need throughout the day. As they're coming, we ask that they bring a backpack that can have, a snack for the day. As we're doing snacks, we want to try to have something that's, going to help them throughout the day, give them a little protein, keep them sustained so they're not hungry throughout class. We don't want something that's like a full meal that they're bringing. And we want to try to, kind of stay away from a lot of the junk food in class. We want something that's going to, help them stay focused and be able to be attentive in class. When we talk about snacks, it should be something that they can eat in like a 5-minute period, so that we're not spending a lot of time. If we're only there for 2.5 hours in some of the classes, sometimes snack time can get really drawn out. And so we do want to keep it as a small snack. We try to make sure that we are allergen friendly. Typically, if you guys do have any allergies with your children, and it's something that we really need to focus and make aware, we can definitely kind of really enforce that, if we're a nut free, or if there's a certain kind of food or allergy that we need to be aware of, we definitely want you to let us know so that we can work and make sure that we do have an environment that's safe for everybody to be there. As kids are coming to the classrooms, we want to make sure that they're dressed for the class. The nature center is going to have a lot of kids who are outdoors for a good majority of the time. If it's raining outside, they're going to be outside. So making sure that, if they have rain boots, if they, have a rain jacket, they need to, be able to experience being outside. Same thing whether they're at Cedar Hills or at Conestoga or the Fano Farmhouse. There are still times throughout the day that the kids are going to be outside. Sometimes it is raining, sometimes it's sunny. So just making sure that they're dressed for the weather and ready to go. We do want to make sure closed-toed shoes that they have, so they're not wearing sandals or flip-flops. And then things, that we want to make sure that they're not bringing, as I said earlier, it's not really a full lunch, but just having a snack for kids to be able to be there. And we want to refrain from bringing a lot of things from home to class. If they have a towel or a blanket or stuffed animal, anything like that, we try to not have it in the classroom. All of our classes have different toys and different items available for the kids to use while they're there for class. And we want to make sure that if they do have that favorite item, that it doesn't come to class and get lost or get left behind. And so we try to just kind of avoid that from the first place by asking that we don't bring stuff. Sometimes we will have days where we'll do some sharing or something like that, and that'll be brought up by the teachers. They will let people know and let them know if it is okay for them to bring that. And kind of the key overall is make sure that they're not bringing anything that you don't want, if it doesn't come home at the end of the day. We try to make sure that everybody has all of their stuff. Sometimes, kids set stuff down somewhere and we don't see that it gets set down. We try to make sure that everything that they come with is going home at the end of the day. But, sometimes things happen that are outside of our control.
So we do go on field trips. We try to plan one for the fall and the spring. All this is obviously based on a case-by-case basis, depending on scheduling, weather, all those kind of things. And so some of these dates won't be finalized until the start of next year's class. These field trips are scheduled during the normal class time. So if you are in the morning, say you're at Fano on a Wednesday, you are going on a field trip that Wednesday morning through your class time from 9 to noon. The class will be held at that field trip site for the entire time. And we do ask that the adults do transport their child to and from that trip location. Adults are more than welcome to stay on that site and help and kind of participate in that field trip with the teachers. There should be a structured activity there for the kids to participate in all together, and then have some free time with the parents. So it's a fun atmosphere. This year we did the pumpkin patch in the fall, and it was a big hit all around. So that's exciting to come up. We also have partnership with some school photos. We have a professional photographer come out in the fall and in the spring. It's a great way to see how much your child grows over the 9 months. This photographer does a great job getting the natural smiles out of the kids, and it's a pretty neat experience. This is all done during our class time as well. We'll take kids down and make sure that they get their photo taken. The photographer will send a gallery to your personal email, and you can decide to choose the photos you would like and decide if you wanted to purchase them or not through her. We also use Library on Wheels. This is a Beaverton library program. They'll bring a bag of books to the preschools, and the bag is following the theme of the month and what we're working on in that class. So for the bilingual class, it'll have some Spanish immersion books as well as some English books. And then the library staff, she'll stay on site. She'll do a story time, sing a song, they'll play games. It's just a couple minutes just to get the kids excited about reading.
So teacher conferences, this is something that all of the programs are offering in the springtime, so usually in April. And some of our programs will also have a fall conference. So these are conferences that we offer to keep you informed about what's happening in the program, how your child is progressing. It also gives teachers an opportunity to discuss what their expectations are for the classroom and for you to ask questions. I also want to mention that the teachers are available outside of conference times. So if you needed to meet with a teacher at some point before or after class, that is something that is available to you, and we can set that up with the teachers. Teachers are also checking in with parents before school, after school, at drop-off and pickup. So if there's something to report that day, they will be speaking to you there and then about the situation.
All right, and to talk a little bit about behavior within the programs, we do believe that all behavior is communication. So our preschools are an opportunity for social and emotional learning. We do understand that a lot of times this is the first time that your child may be participating in a program, may be an only child, or may not have had a lot of other interactions with children their age before. So we are very respectful and understanding of that, and we work with the children and with you all on an individual basis, as well as within the classrooms, to make sure that we are meeting expectations, following directions, listening respectfully, waiting for our turns. We work with the kids to keep their hands, feet, and bodies to themselves, as well as being kind, safe, and respectful. So we have a couple different behavior management techniques that we like to include in all of our programs. We will clearly communicate our expected behaviors for the children and restate our expectations if needed. We also like to give choices and let children be the decision makers in what they are going to end up doing. We will let children know what our desired behavior is, and we will praise their appropriate behavior. We will also ignore undesired or attention-seeking behavior to try and mitigate it. However, when safety is a concern, we absolutely intervene and will de-escalate as needed. We will also redirect children into activities that are more productive, or play spaces that are just a better fit overall. And we really like to have an ongoing communication link between parents and caregivers. So every day at pickup, while you're checking out your child, your lead teacher will usually have a couple of different pieces of information to share with you each day about how your child did in the program, what they liked, potentially what they didn't like, any behavioral concerns. Will be addressed immediately. They won't sat and go unnoticed. So you don't need to worry about waiting until the teacher conference at the end of the year to hear that there may have been behaviors that, were undesirable. We'll always keep you in the loop and make sure that you're understanding of what's happening and what's going on in the classroom with your child at all times.
Restrooms, we do ask, except for the 2.5 to 3 program at the Fano Farmhouse, that all of the students are completely toilet trained before coming to the preschool class. That doesn't mean that if they need help, snapping a button or something like that, we definitely can help with that. But Otherwise, we do want to make sure that they are independent in order to go to the restroom. As we take kids, we do maintain our ratios. So we always have at maximum for our preschool programs is 1 to 10. Typically, we're more kind of that 1 to 6, 1 to 8 most of the times. If we're taking students to the restroom, we always make sure that, you know, we have 2 students that are going to the restroom at a time. In general, as we go into our programs, we make sure that there's not other people using the restroom at the time as we're taking kids in, so that we can kind of monitor the restrooms. Sometimes we will have both boys and girls going into the same gender restroom, but we do make sure that, you know, we are the only program that's in at the time. And as I said, the 2.5-year-old class is the only one that they don't have to be independent for. The rest of them are. I know there was a question that came up about attendance and whether if you're gone for a period of time. We do ask that the registration for the tuition for the month is paid. If you communicate with us, let us know that you're going to be gone. You know, we understand that people have vacations and trips and stuff like that. And so as long as the tuition is paid for the month, you are guaranteed that spot. We do know that sometimes people will be gone and not be there for the entire time. But just giving us a heads up is what we would ask.
Yeah, so absences and illnesses. Sick children should obviously stay home. This will help them rest and recuperate and not spread their germs to the other children. They must be fever-free for 24 hours before they return to the program. If your child is going to be absent, we do ask that you either call the facility or let the teacher know so we can kind of plan accordingly. And then if a child does become ill during the program, the staff will contact a parent or anyone that's listed on their emergency contact list to come pick up that child. This could be if they threw up in class or are just really feeling yucky, or they do spike a temperature and we do check. Those are the cases where we would be calling home. I will say that please make sure that you keep your emergency contact on your account up to date, so we do have the appropriate names to call just in case of emergency. If your child does test positive for COVID-19, please inform the program coordinator and we can work through that. And then just a heads up that we are unable to give credit for any days missed due to sicknesses and stuff like that.
So safety, all of our staff are trained and certified in CPR and first aid. And so we're doing everything possible to minimize accidents through safety programs, through close supervision, through attentive facility maintenance, and through consistent behavior management. But in the case of an accident that does require something more, our staff will then contact the parent or the other designated person that you put down on your emergency forms, and we will fill out an incident report. We will also, in case of an emergency, we will call 911. We do also have first aid kits when we go out on the trails. We take them with us. And we also have mobile phones here at the Nature Center. We use walkie-talkies when we're going out on the trails. So we're always in communication.
And speaking of communication, like I was mentioning earlier with the behavior, we do very frequent and often parent communication. We do believe open communication between the parents and the teachers is essential for the program to run smoothly. So we do want the class to start on time. So if you have parent-teacher conversations, we ask that you have those before or after the class. And like I mentioned earlier, teachers will approach you at the end of your class to discuss any feedback that they want to give you about the day. Our teachers are also open and available to having private meetings with parents on an as-needed basis. You would just need to inquire and ask. So we will always communicate in person first, but we do have a couple of other different ways. We can give you a phone call during the program if there is something like a potty accident or a bump or a scrape. We will call during the program to let you know that that has happened, giving you the option to do early pickup or provide feedback on how we're addressing the situation. We will also communicate via email. We'll send out monthly newsletters with photos and information about the monthly themes for the preschools and other fun things that the preschool program and their respective center is up to. Some of our preschools also have private social media groups like Our Nature Kids at the Nature Center. And as we come into this new year, volunteering within the classroom will again be available as an option if you are looking to get more involved. So if you have any comments or questions or concerns, we just encourage you all to communicate those with us proactively. And we are always happy to meet and work towards the mutual benefit of your children being enrolled in our programs. And then moving into cancellations and inclement weather. So all of our programs, classes, and activities, including our 9-month preschool program, can sometimes be delayed or canceled by inclement weather conditions. If a program does need to be canceled or delayed due to weather, or sometimes air quality is another reason why there may be a cancellation or a closure or a delayed opening of our facilities. Those will always be posted on our website. The quickest way to find out if you're concerned about maybe the AQI rising or potential snow in the weather forecast, to learn about the latest delays and closures, you can call our inclement weather hotline. It's listed right here at 503-614-4018, and that is also available on our website. So you may just end up seeing the update as it's posted to the website. It's also posted on the major entrances and exits to our buildings as well. So if you arrive to a program and the door may be locked, you can call that inclement weather hotline and potentially find out that that is why the center is closed for the day. To learn more about the policy, it is available on our website. So for reasons why we may close and the specifics on that, you can find those at that link at the bottom of this slide.
So all of our programs essentially work towards that kindergarten readiness. I know I think there were a couple questions in the chat, and I mentioned briefly earlier, but our 4 to 5-year-old program really works to make sure that children are ready and they have all the skills that they need to have going into kindergarten. Our younger programs will lead up to that same thing. You know, they're working on learning their letters, their numbers, colors, they're working on social skills. All of those things are part of the curriculum. And as we get to that spring conference, we do have an evaluation of the students that's based off of the kindergarten readiness to kind of let you know what things the teachers have seen, where they are, what they're progressing at, and where they still need a little bit of work in there. And with that, you know, we do ask for feedback from parents as well. You know, in order for us to continue to grow our programs and to have a strong program for your kids to come to, we want to make sure that we get feedback, whether that is given directly to the teachers or whether it's given to the program coordinators or center supervisors. We always appreciate the feedback, whether it is positive feedback or negative feedback. Just the more information we can, helps us provide a quality program to everybody.
And then I'd also like to mention that we do have classes around the district that will help prepare your child for preschool. So if you have a younger child or that has never been in preschool before and you're worried about whether or not they might be ready for that, or you want to make sure that they are ready for that when they start in September, we do have classes that when the registration opens up on February 25th, you'll be able to register for these classes as well. And these are just the names of the classes. So when you're doing a class search online through the web portal at Cedar Hills, they're offering classes called First Time Friends, ABC Come Learn With Me. At the Nature Center, we have Preschool Explorers. Conestoga has something called Play School, and the Athletic Center has Bright Minds as well. So these are really good opportunities for you to get your children enrolled in programs where they can kind of have that preschool setting, but you're not committed to enrolling them for an entire 9 months. If you're not sure if they're ready, or if you want to just make sure that they will be ready in September, that's a good option. Some of these are individual sign-up programs, and other ones are maybe for a month. So there might be four to 8 different sessions that they'll be able to partake in.
All right, that is going to kind of bring us up to the end of our presentation. Just so that you guys do have, all of our contact information is currently on the screen. If you have questions about any of the programs at the Conestoga Recreation Aquatic Center, which is going to be the bilingual program, or also at the Fano Farmhouse, you can contact Tyler. His email and the phone number for Conestoga is up there. We have questions about the Tualatin Hills Nature Center or Cooper Mountain. You can contact Chantel. And then if you have questions about the Cedar Hills Recreation Program, you can contact myself, Ted Doom. And all of our information is up there. I will answer a couple questions that I think have come up that I don't know if we've gotten a good answer back out to you yet or not. All of our programs have different age requirements, whether it's 4 years starting out, or whether it's 3.5 or 2.5. All of our programs require the students to be the correct age as of September 1st. So if you have a 2.5-year-old that's enrolling at the Fano Farmhouse, they do need to be 2.5 by September 1st of this upcoming year in order to enroll in the program. If their birthday is August 30th, then we do restrict it to being September 1st. Sometimes, you'll be able to reach out to a program coordinator, and we may be able to work something out, but in typical, we are pretty strict that they have to be the correct age by September 1st. Another question kind of came up about security. We really try to make sure that we offer a safe program environment for all of our kids in programs. We do typically have doors that are locked in the center, so when kids are in, it's not really accessible for other people. We have all of our teachers are supervising the kids in the classroom, or if they are out within the park. We tend to have kids, as we transport or in the park, they're kind of sandwiched between leaders. There are times where the kids in our programs are going to be intermixed with other people at our center. And so there's not a 100% separation between the kids and other people at our facilities. But we do try to make sure that we are offering that safe environment, and that everybody who's coming is feeling safe and secure in our programs. At this point, if you do have additional questions, feel free, we can add them into the chat, and we'll work to go through those questions. And then if we still have additional, we can go through that. If you guys have gotten the information and you don't have any questions, feel free to head out for the evening. We definitely appreciate everybody who's come out to learn about our preschool programs for this upcoming school year. And we will just start working through some of those questions in the chat and getting some answers for you.
Yeah, Ted, I think if you could talk about potty trained requirements or bathroom independence, that would be great.
Okay. So we talked a little bit, but just to kind of reconfirm, the Fano Farmhouse has a program that starts at 2.5 years. That is the only program currently being offered at Tualatin Hills that does not require students to be fully toilet trained. All of the other programs at the Fano Farmhouse and Conestoga for the bilingual, also at the Nature Center and Cooper Mountain and Cedar Hills. Once they're 3.5 years for the program or older, we do need everybody to be independent in the restroom. That means that, you know, if we take a couple kids into the restroom, they're able to, you know, use the toilet. Sometimes, you know, some of our toilets are tall and some of the kids have a hard time. You know, helping somebody sit on a toilet to go to the restroom is okay, but they need to be able to use the restroom, be able to wipe, clean up after themselves, you know, be able to pull up pants or whatever else may be. You know, if we have to help with a snap or a button or a belt or something like that, you know, we can do that, but they should be able to fully use that restroom on themselves, be able to wash their hands, dry their hands afterwards.
And then Ted, there's a couple of questions about classes filling up and obviously the concern about not getting in. I just wanted to mention to people, you know, it really depends on the class. We do encourage people to, you know, put those classes in their cart as soon as possible at 8 a.m. on Saturday, February 25th for public registration. We do really strongly encourage people join the wait list. The reason for that is we're registering for classes now in February, but you know, there's a lot of time between February and September. And so there may be families that sign up now and they move out of the area or they change their mind. And we sometimes do access the wait list and go through the wait list. So it doesn't cost anything to join a wait list. It's completely free. We go through our wait list in order that they are received. So we do really encourage you to get on those wait lists if you can't actually get into the class right away. But again, it really depends. I know some people are asking about what classes fill up first. You know, sometimes the nature-based preschools have a tendency to fill up first, as well as some of those at Fano Farmhouse. Those are some of the ones that will fill up first. But again, just start at 8 a.m. on Saturday, February 25th and keep your fingers crossed. In terms of out of district tuition, Ted, do you want to talk about how out of district tuition works? Just recap the assessments.
Yep, I will talk about that. Let me add one more thing. As far as, you know, the being potty trained and toilet trained, we do understand if kids have an accident, we're not gonna, you know, require them to take care of everything on their self. Our staff will help. We often ask that everybody have a change of clothes that's kept at the facility, just in case they do have an accident, or just in case they are playing outside, they get muddy, they get wet. And so we do ask that they have a change of clothes that are there. But staff is going to help if they do have an accident and need help taking care of that and cleaning up after it. As far as tuition, we essentially, it's going to be, if you're out of district, we have what's called an out of district assessment fee, which goes to equal out what in-district people are paying in property taxes. And so in order to be in our preschool, we do have an out of district fee, but if you're out of district, it is by far better for you to pay the assessment fee, because that'll get you the in-district pricing for our preschool program. It doesn't jump registration. So if you're out of district, you still have to wait to that following Monday in order to register. Currently, our assessment fee is $100 per season. That fee goes to the entire family. So if other people are using Tualatin Hills facilities, you know, within that household, it does give the in-district pricing to everybody in the household. And at that $100, the other option that Tualatin Hills has essentially is a 25% premium on top of the class cost, which if you're signed up for the 9-month preschool is going to cost you more to pay that 25% premium each month than it is to pay the assessment fee for the season. So the first month is a little bit more because you're paying that additional assessment fee, but then each month after you continue to get that discounted rate. And so it does pay for itself and make up paying that assessment fee over time. There is no difference in the enrollment fee. It is just a straight $50 that covers getting them enrolled, getting everything set, and them registered for the class. And it's just that tuition that has the varied price. As you guys are registering, make sure that when you have it in your cart, it holds your spot. But if you don't check out and complete the registration, you will get dropped out of it. Just by having the registration in your cart does not mean that you are fully registered. It does mean that that spot is currently held for you. Typically, it will hold it for 4 hours. And if you do not check out within that time frame, it is automatically dropped out and would open up that spot for somebody else to be able to register. So make sure that even though you get it into your shopping cart, you do process all the way through and check out and actually pay that enrollment fee. Once you have paid the $50 enrollment fee and you have a receipt for it, that spot is held until we get into the school year. For you. No one else can kind of take your place for it. We just have the enrollment fee that's a $50. The next payment would be our September tuition, which won't be due until August 15th. I think there was a question about masks. We don't require masks to be worn. We do encourage masks. So if kids are wearing a mask and you prefer that your child wears a mask during the preschool program, you know, our teachers will help encourage and remind them to put the mask back on, especially like after snack time and stuff like that. So we will work and help enforce that, but it is not something that is required or not required either way at this point. It becomes kind of a personal preference as to what you would like to do. I would say pictures, I think actually got put in there. I believe there is on the preschool webpage. I believe there is a video of the Fano farmhouse as well as the nature center that you can look at. If you are looking to, you know, really see the classroom or talk to a teacher or something, feel free to reach out to Tyler or Chantel or myself. Any of us can set up a time that you can come in, you can kind of see the classroom. We do it outside of our regular preschool hours, just so we're not introducing other people into our preschool setting. We try to really restrict that just to, you know, the current preschool students. This video, the recording for today, will end up being posted on our preschool website. Currently, the recording for last year is available online. A lot of the information is very similar. There's a few changes here and there. This video within probably the next 2 weeks will be available and replace the one that is currently online and available. So we will be getting that updated. That way anybody who was here can watch the video, they can review. You can also feel free to send an email to any of us and we can answer any questions that you do have. And times for the tours is going to really vary on the center to center. Your best is to send an email to Tyler, Chantel, or myself, and we can work to set up that time. Chantel, I know you have a couple tours set up. Do you want to talk about that real quick?
Yeah, I think Kristen just put it in the chat, but if you're asking about the tour times that we're offering here next Tuesday, on Tuesday, that'll be at the Nature Center, and that's between 2 and 4 p.m. So we do have 1 or 2 of those slots already filled. You can contact me or you can contact the front desk at the Nature Center, and we can get you slipped into one of those 15-minute slots between 2 and 4 p.m. And then there's another question about the contact for Jenkins Estate. So that would be me as well over at the Nature Center. So we're running the Jenkins Estate program. And the tour for Jenkins Estate will be on Thursday between 1 and 3 p.m.
So if we have not addressed any questions that you have, feel free to type it back into the chat or to let us know. Again, if we appreciate all of you guys taking your time with us this evening to learn about our preschool programs for this upcoming year. And hopefully between one of our centers, we will see all of you guys in our preschool classes this next year.